There we are. Hello, everyone.
There you go. So I haven't been here for, I guess, a week, maybe 2 weeks. It's, I had a little trip to Paris myself to attend the Web3 workshop with the jewelry and watches division of LVMH. So that was a success. A lot of interest there and some traction. So glad to report that the whole concept that we put forward is being well received so far. Regarding our outrageously large request for funding. We'll see if we win.
What was the proposal?
The proposal is for well, I have a technology called Zoom Look, and it's an unlimited resolution imaging. So it's kind of like Google Maps, but for multimedia. So you can drill down and get more and more resolution down to like see the DNA basically of something. I'm exaggerating. Wow. But everyone loves it. Everyone's like, oh, this is amazing. How come nobody else is doing this? Why didn't anybody else think of this? Well, anyways, so we've got a cool, very visual, tactile, fun technology that's very useful for e-commerce or education and a whole bunch of things. And we propose to actually create a NFT platform to create NFTs based on real world products or real world goods, and then to open that up into the luxury market to make a big PR move for Cardano, to have it being publicly adopted by the largest luxury companies in the world. And the objective, of course, is to like raise the value of ADA tremendously to raise all boats. And so we put together a very ambitious plan to do that. And we didn't scrimp on how much we were asking for. It might have been the largest ask ever.
How much is it? I'm just curious. I'm curious now. How much will they ask?
I think we asked for $1.5 million.
Oh! Oh!
Yeah, it's enough to open up a whole new division. It's funded for the next year and a half. Yeah. So,
have you,
we'll see.
And
you considered? Have you considered pitching to Emurgo Ventures, Christopher?
I'm sorry?
Emurgo Ventures is the financing arm of Emurgo. I put the link there on the chat.
Oh, yes. No, I looked at Emurgo, but I didn't really look at their financing side of things just yet. But that'll definitely be our phase 2 if we don't win. I noticed that our proposal was always in the top 3, like in terms of the trending ones. It was always like in the top 3. So obviously it was catching a lot of attention, probably a lot of flack for people not wanting to share. Anyways, we'll see what happens.
Well,
also, we met with one is there one person who's credited with founding Cardano?
You could say it's Charles, but he actually had other people set up the initial sales, so it's a little bit more complex than that. Yeah,
I'm wondering if it was Charles, but there was a gentleman at the Web3 workshop in Paris the other week, and he was saying how he always sees Charles at these events, and he's like, Cardano, and then he's like, what's the other one? The platform that this guy is really crazy about. Pyramid? I don't know. My head's not been in the whole crypto thing for the past couple days. We're doing our big integration with Louis Vuitton. Anyways, it was just funny. It just seemed like there was like a possibility to kind of like, shout across from the tops of the mountains and have it heard by Charles or whoever else is really high up at Cardano. But anyways, it was a good time.
So I think, Dimitri, we have never seen you here. So do you want to introduce yourself and what is your interest in NFTs?
Yeah, hi, Roy. Thanks, Sebastián. Yeah, my name is Dimitri. I live in Portugal, and I've been developing on Cardano for quite a while. I got funded with Fund 8 to build a platform called Cardano Beam. I've applied for additional funding, Fund 9. Well, basically, it's a platform that lets you place NFTs at physical locations. So you can literally throw a token at a GPS location somewhere on the map, and somebody can go and pick it up physically. So that's my idea. I've got a working prototype on test nets. It's working already, and we'll be releasing to mainnets end of this month. And we'll run a test event to test it at the end of October. Proper cycling event between two big cities, between two cities, where we'll test the app and expect that to work well. And then the rest of the public can start using from there onwards. Yeah, so that's my interest. I have a couple more proposals in Fund 9. One of them is sort of close to what Christopher was actually mentioning in the jewelry market. But yeah, I'm going to spend all my time on shilling my proposals here.
Yeah, no
anyway,
worries.
so yeah, and I want to give all a shout out. So I see we have Pedro Lucas to join. We were organizing the Vassal party in Portugal tomorrow. So yeah,
I think you're organizing it. Congrats for organizing. I'm attending and sharing the word, spreading the word a bit. Thanks so much for.
It's a good thing that. It's a good thing Lucas is joining, because he was discussing tattoos as NFTs, and Eric is the only one here that has tattoos, so maybe he can answer your questions, right, Eric?
I am so sorry. I was answering an email. Can you repeat the question for me?
Oh, Lucas has a proposal to tokenize tattoos as NFTs, and you're the only person here with tattoos. So,
with the tool to say again?
Tattoos as NFTs.
So what we would do is basically create sort of a platform or a website, a DApp, where tattoo shops can be enlisted and preload their data, their details, so that when they have a client that comes in and wants a tattoo on their arm or something like that, they would also make an NFT version of that image that they're tattooing and deliver it to the client on the skin and on a wallet as an NFT. It's really a very simple use case. It's not that I'm a huge fanatic of tattoos, because I don't have any ink, but I sympathize with the idea of the persistence of blockchain and the person's skin. So that's the concept that I was presenting to Sebastián like a week or two back, and I'm still maturing it. I'm gathering tattoo shops now to create a bit of a community around it to try to facilitate this going forward. What do you think?
I think it's very interesting. It's a very interesting concept. One of the things that I can tell you, though, about tattooing is that a lot of people, well, there are different kind of people when it comes to tattooing. Some of them are people that are just doing it on a whim. That are, hey, I'm drunk, I'm going with all my girlfriends and all that kind of stuff. I don't know how they would feel about this. Then you have other people that actually have the purpose. Someone died, or it's very personal to them, and then in my case, for instance, I draw all of my tattoos pretty much my own. That I do have some that I didn't draw myself, but those are very, so all of my tattoos has become very personal for that sense. So I can see where you're coming from, because if someone would at a tattoo shop come to me and say, hey, this is what you made and you're going to put that on and you create an NFT and all that kind of stuff, I would probably most likely say yes. So
cool.
that would be, the clientele that I think would be, and it would be an added value for the tattoo shop, that you go in and you say, hey, when you do this, we will put it on. If you have a wallet and,
so
whatever you.
Congratulations. You just became Ada Inc. patient zero.
Definitely. I think that would be a really good idea. And if you have a little bit more information and stuff about that and what you're doing, I will definitely bring that to my tattoo guy and say, hey, would you be interested in being a guinea pig, and this is your Discord handle?
That's my Discord handle, and I'm going to be sharing something else.
I ahead and add you right away.
I'm going to share to you a Loom recording that I did introducing the project and all the links around it.
I added you to my Discord, and you can just go ahead and send there if you want to.
I'm happy to share it with the group here.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry.
Yeah, awesome.
And I'm sorry, I didn't understand Sebastian that just said tattoo, and I was like, what is he saying?
Yeah. I don't know, Steven, do you want to give us an update on your project and what are you thinking for Fund 10 or Fund 9?
Yeah, so about Future Fest and what we're doing. We actually have an event coming up next week. We're working with this project called Yummy Universe. I'm not sure if you guys are familiar. But we're having a sale at the same time that has a kind of interesting mechanic. So what Future Fest is kind of like a metaverse events platform, but we're selling NFTs based on Yummy's brand, and their brand is like little cute like animals. So we're selling those animals as pets for your character inside of our game. But what we're doing is we're bundling the sale with a meal NFT. So people have the choice to feed the meal to the character to have that evolve. And if they do that, they burn the 2 NFTs to create a new one. So what it does is that you have scarcity with the original pet NFT, but you also have scarcity with the meals, because like the meals, they produce different evolutions. And they also have their own rarity as well. And as you burn, it's like the rarity shifts. So it's going to be really interesting to see like how the community reacts to that.
Yeah, that's an interesting idea. I mean, you probably should make contact with Dimitri and you can organize an event around physical NFTs and a metaverse, right? That would be...
Yeah, that'd be great. Like we want to do some physical stuff too. Speaking of which, like, are any of you guys going to CNFT Con or Rare Bloom?
Eric is going to Rare Bloom, right?
Nice.
Yeah, yes, actually, I got all the tickets and everything ordered today, so I'm going, yes.
It's awesome. Yeah, I got a free ticket from Snaprilio.
Yeah, we too.
Yeah, he's giving that out to everybody. If anybody of you guys are interested in it, I have the link, and I can post them here for you if you want.
I'm on the other side of the Atlantic, so I'm just going to go to Cardano Summit in November. And
yeah, I wish.
By the way, Nin helped me to go just by pointing out that it was free. So I just registered. Wait. And yeah.
The entire event for that is free too, like, or the ticket, like that's cool.
Can I ask a question? I was just thinking about Dimitri's project. Dimitri, you were saying that you're having a type of NFT that's it's an RF emitter or something you can tag a physical place, correct?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so it's like so any token, any NFT that you have, you can place it on the map physically anywhere.
Okay. So what I was thinking would be interesting, and I'm just kind of layering a few different things into this. It comes from an idea I had a while back about an innovative way of publishing a magazine by combining the concept of an article and the whatever the piece is about, but also the art of it being somewhat like what's that type of art that people put on the street? Graffiti. Like graffiti art, and those arts that they do they like paint it onto the wall like a big poster, and it's there for a few weeks or it's there for a certain amount of time. But I thought, how amazing would it be for there to be almost like a magazine that publishes these big articles out in the world? You actually have to go somewhere and you have to actually visit areas of a city to actually get the whole story or go through it. So by adding the NFT aspect to it, I'm thinking perhaps it's almost like a real world video game where scavenger hunt, where you actually have to physically go somewhere, and it's like you walk by and it goes ding, you get your NFT goes off, and it like mints NFTs for like 1,000 of them for 1,000 this one piece of art or this one story, this one magazine article that's like a big piece of art. And then of course you can include that into all kinds of other things in terms of the community, the local businesses, bringing people from here to there, and like, you know, creating value. I was just kind of throwing some ideas out there for you.
Yeah, I think that's a fantastic idea. I never thought of graffitis by themselves, but somebody suggested me an idea of approaching a gallery and turn some of their pictures as NFTs and place them next to the door. So whenever a person comes to the gallery, they look at the picture and they get like a proof of participation NFT in the wallet, which they can refer back in the future to show that they've been there. But certainly graffitis is a great idea. Yeah. Now, my background is originally in finance, economics, and trading, and I got into Cardano, and so I'm just staying more on the technical part. My sort of artistic side is very limited, and my contacts in that space are practically non-existent. I know some jewelers, but that's about it. So if somebody sort of wants to take that idea and go and speak to the businesses, I'm sort of happy for you to do that and you know, to help me, because my contacts there are non-existent. I don't even and my language is probably not optimal for those sort of areas.
I just thought that I would share a couple brainstorming ideas, because the concept of having a location-based NFT device, and then you have the metaverse virtual experiences, and then you have real-world areas where you could kind of like have like almost like a portal into the metaverse while you're in the physical, you know, universe that we live biologically in, and then just, you know, creating connections and like multimedia portals, if you will, to connect people across space and time. I just think that it sounds like a really fun idea, and that you could really just go nuts with it. So I'm just kind of encouraging that creativity here.
Yeah, it would be really good for music festivals.
Right? Yeah, and then you have like body painting stations, and then you have like your NFT, your body paint, and then you like throw your body against the wall, and then you've got like your body print on the wall. I mean, like there's
so many possibilities. Yeah, music festivals. So like
cool.
Especially like location based. We definitely want to try something.
Hot women mud wrestling with like, you know.
Yeah, section just for that on blockchain.
Yeah. Now, so just to clarify that, so what I created is a platform, and then anybody can place any NFT there. It's not just limited to me. Anybody can put whatever they want there, and then anybody else can go and pick it up. So it's the tools are there, and if somebody wants to go play around and create a map of all the best graffitis in the city, they can go and do it themselves.
What's the name of the platform?
It's called Cardano Beam. If you Google it, it will go to our webpage.
Can you put it in the chat?
Beam me up, Scotty, kind of?
Beam, I don't know how to spell Beam me up, Scotty. So BEAM.
Yeah, Cardano Beam. I see it. The Cardano Beam app.
Yeah, Cardano.
Yeah, I see it. Nice.
Great. Abraham, do you want to give us an update? How are you doing? Probably he can't. Right. So anyway, speaking of Fund 10, one initiative that we were thinking from the idea of the Alliance and NFT DAO is that we can create a working group of NFT projects, propose something that we all need, and that way try to create more traction for NFT technology. And we would also mint an NFT for all of the project members of this working group, so that way we can get traction, like a proof of collaboration, something like that, as things evolve in Catalyst. So I don't know if you guys think that would be interesting, or that's a good idea, and what possibly projects could be useful for everyone here.
Yeah, that'd be great. I got the email yesterday, but I wasn't sure how exactly to respond.
No worries.
So I'm just wondering what the next steps would be for like that directly.
I think probably one of these after town halls we can organize a call around what projects we would want to present as a group, right? What technologies we would need, and from there we can get an outline to do the proposals from then.
Okay.
Yes, for everyone else, I'll put my email there on the chat, and if you're interested in participating, that could be a good idea. From the perspective of NFT DAO, one thing we were planning is expanding in EasyPay. For all you guys don't know, EasyPay is an open source platform to allow payment processors to connect to Cardano, like PayPal or Venmo, right? You can pay for an NFT using PayPal or Venmo, not having to go to an exchange and buy ADA and all of those steps. And one thing that we wanted to propose is extend that to use Hydra, right? So Hydra is this technology that is about to be deployed in Cardano. It's going to be deployed next year. That allows to create like a special channel between two stake pools that allows for transactions to be processed in that channel. And those transactions don't have to pay the fees of the Cardano blockchain and can be confirmed basically in a second or even less of a second, right? So that would be very useful for a payment processor. So one thing we were thinking is extending EasyPay to use Hydra. And we know there are a lot of NFT projects that need this type of payment processor. So we will be happy to collaborate and try to come up with an outline for the project.
Yeah, because I remember last call we talked about using EasyPay because we have a proposal that kind of involves like having a streamlined onboarding process. So whether or not we get funded, I think we actually want to start working on it because we feel like it's really important. So if you guys are planning on expanding EasyPay, like for Fund 10, that'd be great too, because we might end up using EasyPay even as is, maybe as a base.
Yeah, that would be great. And if you want to contact Andrew, that's the guy that led the development of EasyPay. I can give you his email and you guys can start chatting about that.
Okay, for sure.
I don't know if you other guys here, anyone has any other project or NFT technology that would think to be important to deploy or useful.
Yeah, I can talk about one other thing. I think it's somewhat related to what Christopher is doing and maybe Page Lucas as well. So I have a proposal in Fund 9 that adds NFTs to custom jewelry pieces. It sort of started as a discussion with a friend who has a very small factory in his garage who produces jewelry. So the jewelries, they are pre-configured. So he has 10 different types of rings, 10 different types of colors. So I'm not an expert in that field. But basically, the idea is as he's creating a custom ring for a customer, the customer purchases it. While he's producing the ring, the customer already receives an NFT in his wallet as a proof of that ring, which he can, sort of keep a record of and potentially trade with someone else if they want to, if you want to sell it in advance. So I thought that's actually not too dissimilar from Pedro's idea of having tattoos, where you have a physical tattoo and then you have a digital version of it. I thought your idea, Christopher, was along the same lines when you said you were working with the high fashion industry and with the potential very big budget. So essentially, I'm also trying to think of a very practical way of having NFTs for practical purposes.
Actually, one of the members of NFT DAO, Rich, has become the advisor of a platform that's doing jewelry trading over blockchain. They are on Polygon, not on Cardano. But if you want to contact with him, I can also arrange that, and he can give you pointers of how this project is working on Polygon, and maybe you can bring some of that technology to Cardano and create a competitor.
Yeah, sounds good. Can you drop me his email or contact?
I put my email there on the chat. Right now, I don't have his email at hand because I don't know. I'm not in my usual computer, But yeah,
so
just
I'll
send me
write
an
to you.
email. Yeah, and I will give it to you. Right. I don't know, Christopher, do you want to say something to Dimitri's idea, or do you have any project?
I don't really have anything new other than just that little bit of an update from my trip over a couple weeks ago. As far as, you know, adding any type of value to those types of things, at the moment I don't have anything necessarily new to offer. My creativity kind of ebbs and flows. And for the past couple of weeks, I've been kind of like, you know, weighed down with just the inertia of the glacial speed at which these companies move. I'm usually very spry and light, so I like to move, but sometimes I feel like I'm a little bit caught. Just where I'm at today.
Oh, well, another idea that I had is that I don't know if you guys are aware of composable NFTs. Anyone knows what it is?
Composable NFTs?
Yeah.
Nope, not familiar.
Well, composable NFTs are a new trend that is happening on the Wax chain. And basically the idea is like, well, I think the easiest way to explain is like, I don't know, when I was a child, every time that the World Cup would begin, that companies would send albums and you buy, you know, packs of stickers and then you try to complete the album. Well, composable NFTs are that. So you get a big NFT that the inputs are small NFTs that are part of some sort of collection, right? Like the World Cup album, let's say. And then that way, when you complete it, then you can prove to others that you have completed these larger NFTs, and obviously increases its value because it's a complete set or whatever, right? So the idea is to create one NFT that is going to be the repository for the small NFTs, and then you can create packs of randomized NFTs that you sell to people. They try to complete it, and obviously they trade with each other the different NFTs, and basically that's what it's called, composable NFTs. And I wanted to propose that technology on Cardano, and maybe we can use that technology in our individual projects, all of us here.
That's actually a very good idea.
Is it trading cards? Is that like packs of trading cards, and you buy them and they have some gum in them or something, and you're like, okay, and then you have extras and they're like dupes and triplicates, and you very rarely would get like the Boba Fett one, and they're like, yes, I've got it, now I can complete it, right?
Yeah. Well, my experience is with the World Cup, and I could never get the lead defense for Brazil to complete the album, so that was the rarest one for some reason.
My children just got a present, one of those books that you have to fill in with the football cards. And as soon as I saw it, I thought, oh my God, I'm going to have to buy so many cards. I'm doomed.
So what do you guys think of that?
I think that's a really good idea. The difference here with the difference between the football album and the NFTs here is that the NFTs, you can eventually buy all the pieces and get the full NFT. A lot of times when you have those football albums, it was like, there's some of these cards that are so rare that you will never get it. So you can never really complete your album. But in this case, you will actually be able to complete that NFT at some point, which makes it, so let's say that the NFT, it's almost a combination between those football things and a puzzle. That the puzzle has all of these pieces and they're all individual NFTs that are spread out in different packages that you buy this package. And eventually you will find out who is, there needs to be some kind of organization in there with say that, let's say that I have pictures from package 1, 5, 7, and 9, which contains some of these puzzle pieces that Sebastián might be looking for, then he can come to me and trade, or maybe even just buy them straight off from Cardano. I think this is a brilliant idea. And young people will definitely fall for it, especially if the NFTs are in form of something that they really want. We can say a Marvel character or something, you know.
Yeah.
And I think the way to start would be doing this for the, you know, for let's say that we take pictures of Vitalik and Charles and all of those guys that were the original founders. And so now you need you know that the people in Ethereum is going to try to get the Vitalik one, right? And that way you can cross-platform it too. I think this is brilliant.
What if you did something like Jenga? What if you created some sort of phenomenon where the purchasing or the acquisition of an NFT removes it so that it becomes less and less as opposed to becoming more and more, and it removes its geometry so that it collapses some sort of like, you know, large group, and you selectively choose things and you buy out the NFT, and then if you get the one, it kind of like somehow aggregates the energy of the ones that are gone, that are bought, or that are used, and then they end up coalescing in this smaller thing that eventually collapses. And it's like the one that actually collapses it. I'm just saying, this is like a reversal now. I'm saying, like, think of a spatial sort of thing where the NFT process is now not about adding to, but taking away. And by having like the last one standing, if you will, is the one that, you know, wins, or like, you know, expands the value or the utility to actually be the winner or to do something. I'm just thinking a different paradigm here, like Jenga, as opposed to, you know, adding things to it. Let's just take them out and see if there's, is that stupid or what?
No.
I love the gamification aspect of that, because like that could lead to some interesting ideas that has like this meta gameplay that involves like the way the NFTs are, but you could apply that to different game types or even anything really.
Yeah, we should all of us just get together and start creating this thing. Try to get some funding for it and just do it. That would be super fun. It would be like a, you know, you combine all our ideas into what we're doing now. You can start doing that with your diamonds, for instance, or your clothes, or you know, that, you know, this is the crown jewelry of whatever. I mean, the possibilities are endless. Sebastian, this is, you know, I love this idea, man.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
I could definitely see
I could already see this. Oh, sorry.
Go ahead. Sorry.
No. So I could already see this being used for metaverse events, where like if you had the composable NFTs, you get like kind of access to like gated like content. For example, like if you have like 5 people that all kind of contain like a shard of the artifact, they could come together to open up access to something. Or like if someone collects all the pieces themselves, they can go themselves. But like I could definitely see a use case for this for at least us.
Or they're like Voltron. They're not even
exactly.
They find the NFTs, the holders of the NFTs. If you have like all the spectrums or something, or all the jewels, or all this or all that, then all of a sudden you get together as a group and you become like Voltron or a Shogun warrior, and then like you can enter the metaverse as a composite, composable entity.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, one of the nice things about that once you actually get all the pieces together, that can actually open a ticket to a concert, or to a movie, or to a whole weekend for your family at Disney World or something. That create this people want to buy these pieces, and because they know that in the end, once they not only do they own the NFT, but the NFT actually unlocks a bigger price. And I think that will motivate people more to get each individual piece, you know. So let's say, for instance, that we take a picture of the Beauty and the Beast, right? And you divide that up in smaller pieces, and everybody has to start collecting them. Whomever actually gets the full picture will actually get tickets to go to Disney World and meet some of the characters or something like that. That would be, you know, having a grander reward in the end after all the collection is going to motivate everybody to get those NFTs. And not only that, someone is really desperate. Yeah, they're going to pay extra to get those.
Dimitri, go ahead. You were trying to talk for a while now. So
I'm sorry.
Yes, thanks. No, that's fine. Yeah, so that's very useful for me. My events, they have checkpoints. So you only when you're riding a bike and you want to get a prize at the end, you have to pass the checkpoints in between. So in this way, I can make sure that the person only gets the final prize. if he collects all the intermediate NFTs through the checkpoints. It's fantastic. So similarly, you can, to what Christopher was saying originally about having graffitis. You could say that you only get a master graffiti NFT once you go and have a look at the 7 different graffitis in different places. But yeah, I think it improves the interactive ability with the end user. Yeah, a lot. So awesome. I'd be happy to integrate it into my app once that is available.
Awesome. Yeah, Lucas.
So yeah, as you know, I'm new around here. I'm just trying to learn how things articulate, and especially with Catalyst and everything. So my question is, so in this talk that we're brainstorming this concept, are we maturing a standard, like I think Sebastian started by saying, or a bit like what Eric was already talking about, sort of that would be a platform that has a protocol with someone to send you on a journey, or like Dimitri's solution, which are we talking about possible platforms, or are we really just focusing on extrapolating on the platforms, but just building the standard as the output of the NFT work?
I would say that it would be the standard or the design of the NFT, right? Or how the composable NFT would work. And that each of us, our individual projects, could use that in whatever particular way we want. But also maybe we could devise a marketplace around this stuff, and we can all put these NFTs there, and we can like share the revenue, and that way we can aggregate all of our networks in a single platform, right? I think both could work. It depends of how we would want the project to unfold.
So maybe just a bit more technical. When we do this, I think there's like currently, even with 721 or something, that's the standard NFT thing. It's really just a convention, right, between us. So we put that metadata there in that format, and that's it. So how much of this composables NFT solution would be just that type of standard, or how much will it be smart contracts as well?
Probably the larger NFT, the one that's going to hold the pieces, or the pieces are going to be taken out from it. That would be like a smart contract, right? And then the NFTs, I don't think the metadata would do anything, because the metadata doesn't interact with the ledger on Cardano, right? It's just read-only. So we'll probably need to modify like the redeemer or the datum, something like that, right? Probably we'll need to go to that level and create something there. Probably the redeemer. Yeah, I think that's
so in this I don't want to get too technical, but in this equation where the metadata is just a comment that we put there in a certain format, the smart contracts may or not use the metadata, and the metadata may or not be used in the context of the smart contracts. How much of this is currently something that, for example, today I was doing a Cardano for non-technicals workshop for youngsters to learn, and I was explaining to them that on a JPEG store, you have 30% royalty announced there. And on another one, on CNFT, it doesn't say anything about the royalties. So how much of this would be something that we can construct the composable things, but then we would only be respecting it on our platform that you were saying we could create and use it? And wouldn't that eventually just be enforced on the store, on our store, and not so much on a protocol level?
Since Cardano,
I'm not trying to complicate it. I'm just trying to understand.
No, this is great. I think all of these questions we're going to have to answer if we want to go through this project, right? The thing is that Cardano doesn't have a global state, right? Ethereum has a global state, and you can enforce royalties because everyone has access to that global state. On Cardano, that's not the case. So I don't think there is a way that we could enforce royalties across all NFT marketplaces. It would be platform by platform thing. But I could probably be wrong. I mean, my technical knowledge is not advanced enough to go to that layer of how to modify that. We will need to ask someone else.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, I just thought about how could you actually implement it, and I think it's already, the technology is already there. So what you can do is you can write smart contracts which has an NFT locked inside, and in order to redeem it, you already need to have another NFT in your wallet. So that makes it makes it possible to daisy chain obtaining NFTs.
So, but you would always have it on the possession of a smart contract that enforces the rules. Am I getting it right?
Yeah. Well, yeah. You can have a smart contract or a minting contract. So you can say, I will only, let's say a smart contract that already has an NFT in there. So you've created them, say you created 10 NFTs, and one of them is the master one. That requires for you to have all the other 9. You could have a smart contract where you lock in the final NFT, the big one, the master, and then in order to unlock it, you have to already have 9 small ones in your wallet, and that's absolutely doable right now. So I do that for my events with just one NFT, but you can have as many as you want. So yeah, technology is sort of available. You just have to wrap the idea around it and explain to a naive person what it actually means. But something that we could implement.
Awesome. Yeah.
Because because the reason I say is so in my app, for somebody to collect an NFT that is at a location, they already need to have another NFT, like a subscription NFT, in their wallet. So I'm sort of doing that already. So essentially, it becomes not having just one NFT, but a few NFTs, and you do it by sort of project by project. You'd have, you can have, say, this project needs for you to have 5 NFTs in your wallet to collect the main one. Another one you need 10, etc. And you can even sort of daisy chain it really as much as you want. You can do it by epoch, multi-year. You say this year, every month you need to collect an NFT to then get a master one on Christmas. And next year, to get the one on Christmas, you also need to have collected all the ones in previous years. Yeah, going to the extremes. Yeah. For sure. If you want to put a catalyst proposal for that, yeah, I'm happy to work with you.
Awesome. Yeah, that's the idea.
Sorry about that.
Yeah, I think we should. We shouldn't think about it. We should do it. This is a really cool idea. I like it. And not only that, I already have ideas in my head how I can promote this. Because one of the things is that we have, for instance, and I know they will fall for it. We have here in Northwest Arkansas, we have something called Crystal Bridges, which is actually a huge, you can look it up, Crystal Bridges is a huge museum owned by Alice Walton. She is one of the daughters from the Walton family. And you can easily start doing these collectibles where once you have all of them, you get a free admission to the museum and stuff like that. And I know they're gonna eat that up. I know I can sell this like, butter and sunshine. It's just like this. So yeah, absolutely. We definitely need to do this. This is gonna be a really fun project.
Awesome.
Yeah. I'd like to be involved, but I'm not sure how involved I would be for like the actual Catalyst proposal, because like I could see like our project implementing it, like a use case for it, but I'm not sure how like hands-on will be in the like development of, I guess, the system. So I'm like wondering like how you guys see like all the different projects like coming together for this.
Well, I mean, for the proposal itself, I think we can just divvy out responsibilities, and maybe if development resources are not there, maybe you can help up in promotion and maybe in dissemination of the idea. I mean, at the end of the day, we can all pitch in with whatever resources we think we can use, or we can, expert or whatever, and we all benefit from the result, right? Because the money from Catalyst is not going to go to one project, is going to go to like this working group. So, and the result is something we all want to use for individual project, right? It's not one of us is just going to use it for one thing. So I think it just commitment is all that we would require, right?
Oh, makes sense.
I also think that when you start a project, there's a lot of times I notice that you go into a project and people are very skeptical about how they can help or be an added value to the project. But as the project prolongs, you start seeing that, wait a second, this is actually stuff where I can be very helpful or useful. And so it's easy to say in the beginning that, hey, you know what, I don't know what I can do. But in the end, you're going to notice that, heck, I did a hell of a lot more than I thought I would. And sometimes just ideas or knowledge, especially knowledge, is always worth something. People forget that knowledge has a value. But I suggest,
be part of this.
I suggest that we create a group, call it something, and then we start just moving forward on it. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Christopher, I think this would be an excellent thing for your side too. It would be awesome.
Yes. Anything.
This I've heard a lot of things coming out of you, but I must say that this is my absolute favorite so far.
I'm happy to help.
He's a little gem, that guy.
Great. Yeah. So I don't know if you guys can just write me an email, and from there I will try to set up like maybe a Discord or something like that.
So,
and from there we can coordinate.
Sebastián, this was your this was your idea, wasn't it? You sort of just suggested and explained to us originally how it works, or what it is.
The composable.
Composable, yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm not that smart. I saw them on Wax Chain, so yeah, it's originally there. Yeah. It originated there.
I mean, so I think in practical terms, what could work is that if we create a straw man of a document of what needs to go into a catalyst proposal. I've done a few of them, so I can provide a template, and then maybe if you describe what that is, what a composable is, and from my side, I can chip in and practice how we do it on the technical side. And then we can divvy up the rest of the sections by the rest of us. Yeah, you probably know each other better than I do.
Sebastián, correct me if I'm wrong, but there probably is some information about this already out there that we can actually just go in and take a look at it, and then see how we can implement that on the Cardano platform.
Yeah. If you go to Wax Chain, you're gonna see a few, and I think they're also on Ethereum. But not sure. Haven't researched that.
Okay.
Great.
So how about if I create a straw man, and then you start writing up what this is about, and then we'll take it from there.
Awesome. Yeah. Cool. I have everyone's email here with the exception of Lucas. So yeah, if you can put your email in the chat. Perfect. Abraham, you're silent, so I'm not sure if you want to be part of this. Write it in the chat, or I don't know, I can write an email later, probably. Up to you.
I would say one of the next things to do is just next week, send an email out to everybody who's really been in this group for a while, and that we're going to have a conversation around the concept of a compostable, I said compostable, a composable NFT project, and just get more people here to kind of brainstorm on it and to get some direction on next steps. I think that this is a really, vital group. It's a lot of very, very intelligent and creative people. So I think that getting everybody who's kind of in this group every week is a larger group, just so, and then throwing everything against the wall and see what sticks. That's what I would say. I would say for next week, just try and gather everybody who's already been in the loop over the past maybe 3 or 4 months here in this breakout room, and then go in it with a little bit more in terms of numbers, in terms of the team. Just get everybody.
Okay. Yep. I'll try to find whose contact I have, but it's not everyone that has been here.
Well, do what we can.
Great. Well, I don't know. We have been going for an hour. I don't know if you guys have any other topics you want to address, or we should cut it here.
I'm about tapped out.
Just one little question. So I think I'm looking to join the NFT DAO Discord. I'm probably gonna be, poking around to get to know, because I have this project about the tattoos and I'm learning everything about the Web3 development and Plutus and everything. So what would be the welcome word you can have for me? Is there something like where I can start, or do you have a weekly meeting on NFT DAO?
We meet Tuesdays at 2 p.m. EST and Fridays at 12 p.m. EST.
Okay, Fridays what?
12 p.m. EST.
12
I think that the Tuesdays is that's the time the NFT DAO group talks about internal things and stuff like that. And if I remember right, Fridays is more like an open, open space. Come and join us.
So 12 p.m. is noon, yeah?
Yep. No.
Yeah. And
okay.
Also maybe for next week to broadcast to the larger group in the main meeting for people who are looking to do something innovative and have some ideas around NFTs if they'd like to kind of like join a new wave of a new project,
Yeah, I'll write Swarm so they can do that announcement in the main room. And yeah. Cool.
And Lucas, I can definitely see this concept in the tattoo space too. I really can see that if there's a tattoo shop that want to start creating this and they have a picture in there and again,
it's like a collection. When you're in Eternal Wallet and you see some tokens and then some of them are by the same policy, so they're a collection. So you can think about those people that do the half and half tattoos and then they are in the same policy. That's that's the basic version of it, I think.
Yeah, and friends that walk in there and all of them want to have the same thing, and they connect and they get their own little community, so to speak. Yeah. It's brilliant.
Cool. Yeah. Cool. Great stuff. Cheers, guys.
Awesome. Well, see you guys next week. Bye bye.
All right.
All right. See you guys. Take care.
See you tomorrow, Friday. Bye.
Have a great rest of your week.
You too.